to come into the government. And then as a result of that, they came up with a mongrel which was illegal, unconstitutional, uncontrollable, and all those many other terminologies. And he did state that then, that the Kenya Kwanza government will not be able to allow such a situation to happen again. Now, when we see Kenya Kwanza government falling into the same trap which Jubilee government was in, then the question is, who is cheating who? Because somebody must be telling us lies. And this is why we are saying, look at what has happened. ODM, who are our key partners in the Azimio coalition, they have now ministers in the Kenya Kwanza government. They have their members who have crossed over from chairing committees which are normally minority, supposed to be chaired by the minority side, and now they are chairing committees which are supposed to be chaired by the majority. Meaning they have actually replaced people who were in the majority and who are in the Kenya Kwanza government. Now, looking at the list of who has been replaced, Mutunga and I know very well, all these are people from Central Kenya. People who were replaced as chairs because they are colleagues and we know them. Now, the other thing you are not addressing, and which is critical, Mutunga might be happy, ODM might be happy, but can you imagine what is happening to our colleagues? And I think you have seen what Grich is, even though Grich is not elected, what she's saying here. Can you imagine the level of betrayal our colleagues who are in the front line campaigning for Kenya Kwanza are going through? That I spend my resources, I spend my time to campaign for this Kenya Kwanza government, and when it comes to time of rewarding, then you reward my opponent who was saying you are the wrong person, and then you leave me out. So just take that picture of what is happening with our colleagues from Rift Valley, because Rift Valley is now the stronghold of Kenya Kwanza. What are they going through? Because they would have imagined we would want to be chairs of these committees, because it is our government. But what they are being told is now that now you have the presidency, you can forget about the rest. So even though they are not saying it, because if you say it, you are likely to lose your seat, you can imagine the kind of, in their own PGs, the mood in those PGs. They must be really complaining, feeling we have been betrayed. Then look at the additional PSCs. And I've said this many times. The papers are saying the estimate is about 60 million per year to get the 70 PSCs in office. But can you ask yourself, the state of the economy currently in Kenya, do we need to have additional wage bill? And the answer would be no. From any point, if you are to analyze that matter, from whichever angle you analyze, the answer is a big no. But then we go to an extent of bring them, and I like what Senator Pogisi was saying, that we are not yet done with the process. We will see more coming on board, more PSCs. Don't even be surprised to see more CSCs coming on board, meaning we are still bloating the government. And I think initially we might have lived with a broad-based government, but I don't think Kenyans are ready to live with the broad and bloated government.
Right.
That is going to be serious with this economy. And I tell you, if you go that way, then after 5 years, we might be pushing Kenya back to where it was during the time of President Moi.
Right.
The question will be, shall we have another Kibaki taking over on 2027, who can then revert those losses to become gains and see Kenyans now enjoying a booming economy? And if that doesn't happen, then, Fred, the truth of the matter is Kenyans must be ready for a very tight economic situation for the next possibly 10 years. And I think anybody would be worried. Because, when the economy is not performing well, almost every other sector will not perform well. It is the economy. Although they say politics drives the economy, it's the other way around, actually. Politics will only do well if the economy is doing well. If the economy is not doing well, and then you don't have good politics, that country is likely to go through very difficult times. And that's what we're trying to avoid. So even as we bring these people back to the government, let's not lose track of the fact that we must care about what Kenyans are complaining every day: cost of living, high public debt, high levels of unemployment, high levels of corruption, because these remains still the fundamental issues which Kenyans need to see them address.
Okay. And still linked to that conversation about the broad-based arrangement and what comes with it, there's the issue of reconstitution of the IEBC. Starting this morning, the interviews for the 11 candidates for the position of chairperson begin here in Nairobi and will be